Welcome to the Master Suite.
Welcome to the Master Suite. It's your boy Neil, and today I have two guests, Big Broseph himself and Humble Beast. Welcome, guys, to the podcast.
Yeah, what up, Brody? I appreciate you for having me.
No problem.
Good looking out, bro. We ready for this?
That's it, man. That's it. We're here to take over 2020. So I just have a quick question, for both of you guys. You're both entrepreneurs. I'll start off with Big Broseph. If you could just tell us a little bit about your movement and how you motivate others.
Right, so the movement is greatness cannot be stopped. And the movement just started for myself. It all started with myself first. I was struggling, out there in the streets. And I never had no guidance, was getting the wrong advice. And I struggled a lot until I had to make some tough decisions and even life-risking decisions. And I realized that all along when I was out of the hood, because I was in the military, I realized that my potential was basically everything that what they weren't saying. Everything that they were saying was just misguidance, even from my parents, the dudes down the block. And I was just like, it was just mind-blowing to be like, my potential, they weren't talking to that potential. They weren't even helping me find my potential. And then when I started searching for my potential, which was my greatness, my gift, I realized that once I got on the purpose line, I was basically unstoppable. And you either getting on my way or you being moved. So that's what the greatness cannot be stopped, is you finding your greatness. And that's what the movement is helping others find their greatness, because greatness cannot be stopped.
And what inspired you?
The movement itself was, currently I'm a teacher, and I just started noticing that these kids, they were me at a younger age, and I'm just like, wow. Like, if I don't do anything, it's selfish. It'll be selfish of me just to be quiet and just get my hustle on and live a 100 times better life and not share that knowledge and not letting the kids know, this is what you need to be doing. This is the path you need to be, unbiased opinions, and be like, you need to find, is it that your gift is? And the prime example is a kid that talks a lot in class. They don't realize that his potential is speaking. And then telling this kid to shut up, be quiet, sit down, stop talking. And I'm like, dude, that's his gift. He can't even control it. And now he's getting in trouble for that. That's his gift. And that was just him. I was always talking, acting up. My gift was talking. Anybody who knows me be like, Garcia talks a lot. Big bro, so he could talk. He could talk for hours. You got to tell him to shut up. And that was my gift. And I'm just like, that's one of my gifts that I'm trying to perfect now, as doing motivational speaking for the youth. And the movement greatness cannot be stopped. And I'm just like, I got to share this knowledge. Because every kid that I see is like, you were me. And if you're not guided in that path and help them in their path, they're going to end up lost. And they're going to end up in their career they don't like, making life choices they're going to regret. So that's where it's coming from.
And to you, what does Big Broseph represent?
All right, so Big Broseph, big, it ain't because I'm big. That's usually what everybody thinks. But big is big for big brother, because Broseph is slang for brother. So big brother is that I'm trying to be a big brother to everybody, especially for colleagues, for friends, especially for the youth. See me as a big brother.
Do you have any motivation advice for the youth?
Find your greatness and look for it. You don't need to know it now. I'm 30 years old and I'm still figuring it out now. So the key is knowing that you want to find your greatness and get on the path of searching for it. Because you may have it and you may have skills that are going to lead you to the greatness. That gift that was given to you. So my best advice is know that you want to find your greatness. Because once you start listening to yourself, you're not going to listen to the naysayers. You're not going to listen to those negative people, the people that are bringing you down. And the people closest to you are going to be the ones bringing you down. And you may not even realize it, because the whole time, people that were bringing me down are the people closest to me. People on the block, my mom, my brothers and sisters, because they weren't on their purpose line. They weren't finding their gift. They were just trying to survive. And that's the hood mentality of trying to survive. When you're trying to survive, you're not going to thrive. It's a difference between having little moments of survival versus constant survival. it's definitely a big difference, and that's like a whole different topic. But you know, that's where I'm coming from.
That's dope. That's dope.
No, it definitely is, you know, and I appreciate, you know, that you're doing this for, you know, the youth, especially, you know, this generation is they're very fast, and to have someone who will be there to motivate them, you know, from, you know, times that are difficult and, you know, through thick and thin, that's very great. Do you have any social media or any handles that you can tell the world that they could come and follow you?
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Instagram, at the Big Brosive. I'm on YouTube, Big Brosive. I'm on TikTok making funny videos at the Big Brosive. You know, professionally, you can find me on LinkedIn, Big Brosive. I don't even want to put my government name, Big Brosive. I want people to know me for the big brother that I am to the others.
Spell that for them, bro.
Yo, so it's B-I-G, Big. Brosive is B-R-O-S-I-F. Holla at me.
And will you have a merch line?
Yeah, it's coming soon. Greatness cannot be stopped. It's coming.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. So, Mr. Humble Beast.
Yo, Humble Beast
Beastmaster was good, boy.
Yo, what up, my boy? I appreciate you for having
Yeah.
us. Definitely. It's an amazing opportunity to work with somebody like you, brother, for sure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, what made you create this clothing line?
You really want to hear the story?
Bring it.
Wow.
All right, the beast is here. All right, so maybe like 2-3 years ago, I had an older cousin. He had passed away, you know, and me and him, that was like one of my favorite cousins. Like any basketball games, Super Bowls, NBA Finals, wrestling, anything that had to do with sports, you know, me and him stood in tune. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I would go to his house and spend time with him. So once I lost him, it kind of like he was definitely a humble beast. Like he loved to have fun, he loved to check up on us. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but when he got angry, he was definitely like he's with it. You feel what I'm saying? So, but he definitely was humble. He definitely didn't start trouble and things like that. But like to me, that's who was honestly a humble beast. He was in college, he was still working. You know, he was getting his degrees and he was doing all the right thing. You know, he was a little older, but at the end of the day, he still made that step. It was definitely, you know, attacking any mission like a beast. And that's what really I respect about my cousin. So when I started the line, I really it was definitely a memory of him.
And what does the word humble beast represent?
Basically, the humble beast is not negative. I just want that to be clear because a lot of people they'll see humble and then they see the beast and they be like, you know, he's aggressive. So basically, humble beast just signifies, you know, just everyday life. You wake up every day. You gotta, you know, you have a mission, you have a task that you want to fulfill every single day. And I feel like, you know, when you walk outside them doors, you got a lot of people that want to throw you off your A game. They say you're doing the right thing, and they want to kind of slow you off the road. So that's when you become, you feel what I'm saying? You become that beast, not in a sense of being negative, but you know, just holding your ground, knowing what you stand for, and that's what a beast to me is. But you're doing it humbly.
Preach.
So that's why I got the word. That's where I got the clothing line Humble Beast from, and I got the NYC because we from Brooklyn. Yeah.
Represent. And what do you sell?
All right, if you could look back here, we got everything. We got sweatsuits, you know, tech suits, T-shirts, dad hats, baby clothes, anything you could really think of, wristbands, keychains. We basically have everything, women clothing. It's a lot of different apparel that a guy that's been in business for a year and a half have a lot of, you know, I touched a lot of bases.
And how can someone follow you?
They can follow me at Humble Beast NYC on Instagram. You can follow my Facebook page, Humble Beast Clothing Brand. You can follow my regular Facebook, you know, Jeremiah Brunson, whatever, anything. But I'm really on Instagram. I'm heavy on Instagram. I tune into everybody. Everybody know me. You know, even people I don't know, they join the live. I show everybody love.
And what's your website name so people can place these orders right now?
Yeah, definitely. The website is www.humblebeastnyc.com, and that's definitely www.humblebeastnyc.com. You can get all your merch from there.
And what type of forms of payment do you accept on your website?
On my website, cards, Visa, Master, any debit card, things, any credit card, things like that. You know, if you hit me up on Instagram, you know, Cash App, Zelle will work, and we definitely get you, you know, your merch as soon as possible. That's how I like to work.
So, you know, this new generation is very active. You know, most of the time, you know, this generation could be very violent. So I would say to, you know, bring everybody into positive steps. What is your advice for any upcoming newbies who would like to start a clothing line?
My main thing is, if you're doing it for money, this game ain't for you. I want to say that again.
Yeah, repeat that.
If you're doing this, if you starting a clothing line just for the money, this doesn't work for you. You know why? Because I'm a year and a half in the business, right? And I think I've done seen over, you know, a couple $1,000s. I don't want to really talk too much, you know, but and as far as that aspect, you know, let me start off by saying I didn't have nothing when I started this clothing line. I didn't have nobody invest in me. I had a regular 9 to 5. It might not have been the best 9 to 5, but I had something. I had something to look forward to every day I woke up. You get what I'm saying? And I invested my 9 to 5 money into my clothing line to the point where right now I'm sitting on clothing line money to invest more into my clothing line, if that makes sense. So a lot of people want to do it for money. It's not money because at the end of the day, I look at it as longevity. I save, I invest in different things, I sell, I take losses, I donate. You know, I sometimes I give things out to, if my students is doing real well in school, you know, I'll bless them. You know, sometimes I surprise kids that, you know, that can't afford it and that's in need. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by it. If you're doing it for money, it's not gonna work, because when you're giving stuff out, you're losing money. But in my mind, it's a blessing to me. I don't see it as losing money. I see it as a blessing, making someone else happy. And if they could put that shirt on, you don't know what type of mind state it could take them. They could be feeling down, and then when they got a shirt, they have that Humble Beast shirt on, it makes them feel good about themselves, and they feel like they on top, and it goes back to the definition as attacking your mission as a beast. And I don't really want to say no names, but, you know, long story short, one of my peoples had bought a sweater from me, and, you know, he was playing basketball and things like that, and he was outside, and he had left his sweater outside, so then he left, and then he came back to the park, and he was like, yo, Humble, did you see my sweater? So I'm like, nah, like, you know, I didn't see it. I thought you took it when you left. And he was like, dang, man, like he was a little upset. So the next day I came back to the park, and I was just, you know, walking by doing my regular. So I wound up spotting the same sweater that my friend lost. So then I went up to the kid and I'm like, yo, where did you buy that sweater? He was like, my dad bought it for me. I'm like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, it has someone else's name on it. So I'm not sure that your dad will buy you something that has someone else's name on it. So I was able to get the kid back his sweater, and that kid, like, you know, it made me feel good, because it wasn't like, okay, just forget it. Like, he was really upset. Like, you get what I'm saying? So anybody that, you know, that shop on me, I really take it serious, and it felt good to be able to give that kid back his sweater.
And just for the customers, real quick, do you have a return policy?
That's a very good question. I definitely don't have a return policy, especially during the summertime. I have a lot of female wear, so a lot of, genetic things. I don't like, once you buy it, like, you're gonna have to give it to somebody else. But honestly, it's only exchange only. Because I'm that person, like, if you order from my website, I'll make sure I ship it out the next day. So I'm not on some, you gotta wait 5 days and get a confirmation. No, you get a confirmation the next day when it's shipped out. That's how I work.
All right, and this is for both of you guys. What do you tell someone who wants to follow their dream?
Keep the momentum, Humble.
Say that again?
Keep the momentum, bro. Let them know.
What do you tell someone who wants to follow their dream?
That's a very good question. Honestly, I just stay focused. Like, every day I wake up, I don't have people in my ear telling me do this, do that. A lot of people want that. I still attack. Like still to this day, I don't give myself enough credit that I'm a black-owned entrepreneur. Like, it's crazy. Like, I still don't give myself enough credit, and I beat myself every day because I'm that humble beast. I want to keep attacking different goals, and I want to accomplish different things. So I tell people all the time, you don't have to have somebody by your side. You know what you want in life, so you handle that. You don't look for no handouts. You like people said, I'll do whatever it takes to get what I want, right? So do that in a positive way. Don't let nobody ever tell you can't do nothing different. If you see an obstacle, do your research. Don't ask and people, because a lot of people in this clothing game, nobody gave me no resources. But right now, a lot of people coming to me for resources, and I'm delivering it because I believe in blessings. So at the end of the day, stay focused, grind every day, attack your mission as a beast. Don't do nothing crazy that'll knock you off your game, and don't expect for anybody to be there. Because at the end of the day, you was shooting in the gym by yourself, or you can become a millionaire by yourself.
Preach. So my advice, the big brosif advice,
You know that.
you already know, it's just, you need to really think about that dream. You gotta be a visionary. You gotta be a believer. You gotta be a maverick. You gotta be a trailblazer. Like, because the only person that's gonna really believe in your dreams is you. You should not depend on nobody, just like Humble Mumble said. Should not depend on anybody. If you get a blessing, you take it. If you get a curse, keep moving. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be for you. People are going to tell you not to do something just because they can. And remember, everybody got perspective. And for me, everybody always gave me an opinion. And I would just take it for what it is. People have laughed at me. People call me stupid for the things I've done. And I have accomplished a lot. And once I got on that purpose line, when I knew my greatness, my gift was, I was moving at 100 miles per hour, and people just started disappearing. And you're gonna see once you have intention of what you're gonna do, and you're a believer, and you envision that, and it's to the core. I'm talking about whoever's the closest person to you. No matter what they say, you're gonna attack it. You're gonna move with greatness. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a wild journey. You're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, these are my blessings. This is what I was hurting at. This is what I was able to accomplish. And you're going to see, like, as hard as it gets, stack more problems. Load up more. Overload. Crash. I remember, certain times I'll be in la-la land. I'm, like, literally mentally broken, physically broken, emotionally, socially. Like, I was, like, hurting. And I would just keep pushing, day in, day out, sleepless nights, hustle, the grind. And you'll see the light. Everybody's journey is different. So you definitely have to be a visionary, a believer, a maverick, a trailblazer. You gotta pack it in.
I like that. That's definitely dope.
So we're going to shift this podcast a little different today. Right? So I call this the brother meeting, the big brother meeting, right? So I have a question for you guys, right? Is it okay for your girl to dub at a party? How do you feel about that? Where, you give your girl, your wife, the trust, right? But let's say, for example, now they go to a party, right? Is it okay for them to dub another guy even though they ain't doing nothing? To me, I just feel it's disrespectful if you're there or not. So how do you guys feel about that?
I always stick to my guns. Honestly, I'm not with it. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not really a party person, but if I do go to a party, I'm going because my people's inviting me, and I'm like a laid back, chill. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not with my lady dubbing another guy at a party, even if I'm there, if I'm not. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we go to a party together, they're going to be dubbing me the whole night, and we're going to keep it like that. If not, stay that ass home.
Yo, wifey, why?
That's it. What do you say about that, big bro?
Yo, my wife know better. I'll close that door in front of her, son. Nah, just joking. Yo, my wife, you crazy? And she was, in her past life, she was been a nun. That girl got morals, bro. She'll put me in place. Shit, I've been to the club and my wife is like, "What you looking at?" And I'm like, "Yo, what do you mean? I'm just looking at the dance floor."
And see, and that's the thing what I'm saying, because this generation is more I would say laid back. You know, if I see my woman going to a party and she's dubbing somebody, it's time to fight. You know, not time to fight her, but it's just time to fight. You know. But to me, I just think it's very disrespectful for your girl or your wife to go to a party, even if you're there or not. But let's say, for example, you just walking down the street with your homies, and then somebody came, oh, I saw your girl or your wife dubbing another dude. Like, how do they think that you should feel about that? You know, and at the end of the day, it's very disrespectful.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign of disrespect if somebody's coming to you to let you know about your lady, and she didn't even tell you at first. You feel what I'm saying? It don't make me feel uncomfortable, and I'm a firm believer. People be like, yo, I believe in chances, and I believe in chances, and it's kind of hard because I feel like once you do something the first time, you're gonna always do it again because you're not used to the person. Certain people are let stuff slide, but I can't. Like, it's just because I know if I do it, it'll be a whole different stories. Because at the end of the day, a lot of females are more emotional, so they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. You feel what I'm saying? So in the back of their mind, they're gonna still have that in the back of their mind, but they won't expect for you to be the same way. So it can't be double jeopardy. It has to be equal. Just because you're like, prime example, or if a guy hit a girl, that's the worst. But if a female hit a guy, it's like, oh, it's not that much because the guy's more aggressive. I feel like it's not fair. Like, you shouldn't put your hand on a woman. The woman should put her hand on a man.
No double standards.
No double standards. So I see it like that. You get what I'm saying? So no, it's disrespectful.
No, of course, and these days, most females will probably think of it as it not being, but it's like you said, it's vice versa, and at the end of the day, you're with that person for a reason, and if you want to go dub somebody, then hey, leave me alone and go dub. You understand?
Yeah, because you would have had young Brosa, man. It would have been on sight. It would have been no hesitation. I would have been, yo, we getting it popping real on sight. But now I'm just like, you gonna get down like that? Shit, I gotta see what you're gonna be doing at the crib with me. Like,
yeah, they'll be mad dry at home, but then they want to get all hot and spicy at a party. You understand? Yeah. And that's very two-faced,
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's important for if you're in a relationship. And I pride myself in having good relationships. Like me and my wife, we were friends before. She friend zoned me. Made it out the friend zone. We started dating when I was about 20, almost 20, 22. We got 9 years together, 5 years married. And the key is just being on the same page, having the same mission. Because if my wife trying to dub, I'm like, you trying to get down like that? Let's both of us get down like that. That's why it's important to be on the same page and have the same mission. Because me and my wife, we after like financial freedom. We want to help people. We want to like have a better life and help others. So me and my wife, we haven't been in a club in a minute because we focus like grinding and hustling. But if she wants to, get wild like that, shit, talk to me. I'm trying to get wild too. What's up?
Nah, definitely. That's why I said we're gonna take a little turn and get to know everybody's, lifestyle. Because, yes, we could be entrepreneurs and heroes, but at the end of the day, we're all human. You understand? So I also have a couple more questions, but let's just dive into something a little different. I would say, what is your definition of a stepfather?
Jesus, my answer's gonna be short, humble, mumble. Yo, before being a father, I don't think I ever could have been a stepdad, but having the perspective of being a father now, I can see why it's important to have a male in the family or have a partner, get that assistance, get the help, So now I would be, if I wasn't married, I would be open to that, but before, hell no. And and it's clearly because I lacked the perspective, and I grew up my mom used to be never date a woman with a kid. Literally grew up on that. So when you grow up, people telling you norms and standards and their values, it gets stuck to you, which could be a gift and a curse. And for me, obviously, a lot of my advice that I got from my family wasn't the best. So definitely now I'll be open to be a stepdad, but. Like I said, we all gotta be on the same page because I dip out quick. I'll smoke real quick.
What about you, Beast?
Nah, I kind of agree on Big Bro Sif. Growing up, my dad and my mom was together for a while. You know, I was blessed with two brothers, two sisters. So my mom had five of my dad. You know, but like Big Brosa said, like they was always telling me, you know, just start your own family. And then I was growing up, you know, they didn't work out, and then my mom, you know, had her little situation going on. You feel what I'm saying? So, like he said, I didn't believe in that, but then, you know, as I got older, you know, I had my own mind, and I was able to have an understanding, because a lot of these kids now definitely need a father figure. So, but you know, I was in a similar situation where I had to play the stepdad role. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, I always do to the best of my ability, and if it's not to your standards, then it's a problem, because at the end of the day, that's not my priority. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm going above and beyond and it's not making you happy, then something's wrong. You get me? Because at the end of the day, that's not my first priority. And if I'm taking initiative to understand and sacrifice to attend to, you know, that situation of being a stepfather, and you don't appreciate it, something's wrong. You get me?
Yeah, definitely.
But like I said, a lot of these kids do need a stepdad, you know. And right now I'm single, so at the end of the day, you know, I'm just taking my time and just focus more on my business and you definitely need someone like Big Broso said. You need somebody on your side. You need somebody, if you're gonna have somebody, you need somebody that's understanding and you're on the same page. Because if I'm handling clothing line and you worrying about laying up all day and you worrying about cuddle, something's wrong. Because if I'm working, that requires me to be outside. And if you want to cuddle, that requires me to stay in the house. I love to cuddle, but I want to be stable and get the millions first, and then we could chill later.
Yeah, definitely. And that's some of the issues I had. Like, I grew up, I don't know my blood father. And there's three of us. I'm the youngest of three, and none of us, like, he was not in the picture. And then my mom will have, like, her boyfriend. So technically, yeah, stepdads. And they were all bad influence. So it's like you could have a stepdad, and it could be just as worse as you not having one. So it's kind of better off sometimes not having one than having a crappy one. Especially when, you know, not your father, you know, he's your stepdad, and then he just becomes a negative influence. And also, like, this inspired me. So as I'm growing my YouTube channel, I'm doing a show. I want to do a live show called Better Dads. And it's really about, like, how to be a better father every day. Because, like, I look at my situation, and I have a daughter who's about to be 2 years old, and I'm just looking at, like, damn, like, I'm creating the standard. I'm really going with the flow of being a dad, and my reference is just what feels right, what is morally right, and is everything I'm doing out of love. Like, those are my references. And I mean, it's a pretty good one, but like, my wife could turn around and say, oh, her dad did this. So she might have traditions and things that she may want to do because it's based off the history of her family. Like, you know, I don't have any of that. You know, except for the regular traditions that everybody has, Christmas and all of that. Like, you know, but for me, it's just like, I don't know my dad. And the influence I had was, how do we, you know, cook it up in the kitchen and chop it up and bag it up. And being taught that at a young age, and I'm just like, dude, like, being around drugs, violence around the house, alcohol, and I'm growing up around that, and I'm just like, dude, that is not something that anybody should be taught. You know, going around my mom's house, and I'm seeing a cup, and I'm thinking it's Pepsi, or, you know, a drink, and I'm drinking, and it's just Bacardi 151. You know, and I'm just like, dude, I'm looking at going through my mom's stuff, and I found a revolver. And then, bro, I'm not even in, like, high school yet. You know, all this is prior to high school. So you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm inspired to do the show Better Dads, to help any kind of dad, stepdad, you know, any parent. I call it Better Dads because my aim is to hold, but it's for anybody. Any parents, single parents, families, it's just how to be better.
And talking along those lines with stepfather, do you have to be married to be that title?
Nah.
Like, when should you receive that title? Let's say, for example, you're in a relationship for a week. No, of course not.
Honestly, it's gonna be what you're doing. Because if you come into the house just to chill and hang out with Mom Dukes, and you're not really catering to the child, or you're not looking out for the child, then you should have no business calling yourself.
It may take some time, and what I mean by that is, I feel like a stepdad is. You could call it two things. You could call it your mother's boyfriend, because that's what some people call it, and then you can call it stepdad. And what I mean by that is, Big Bro said, you could come through and chill with Mom Dukes, get lit, and then breeze, but it can be also when you're spending the night, when you're babysitting, when you're going out as a family, when you're basically there 4 days out of a week, you're living there, you're buying groceries, you're spending quality time with a child,
You're part of the family.
you're watching a movie, you're buying them snacks, you're buying them Christmas gifts, you're buying them birthday gifts, you're posting them on social media. That's when you're a stepdad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't think a mother's boyfriend is someone that comes around when baby go to sleep, and then your boyfriend comes over. You know?
No, seen those before.
But you feel what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah, I feel you. I've seen that before.
now you see
Yeah.
the two. That's why I said, like, with my mind, like, you know, being 26 years old, I learn, and I'm able to. When people tell me things, I don't take it as offensive, because I'm an understanding person. I can look at it from a good point of view, and I can look at it from a bad point of view. So that's where you can balance out what's a stepdad and what's a mother's boyfriend, to me.
No, well, I definitely agree about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about the intentions that you have. Because if you're gonna do the same thing a father would do, and hey, you stepdad, you want to be part, so you gotta have the intention. I think you also gotta take a self look at yourself and say, am I a stepdad? You know, so it goes back to your intentions. Like I said, like, daughter, hey, everybody go to sleep. It's 8:00. You know, dude coming over, then he ain't your stepdad.
That's a fact.
Definitely. And Big Broseph, I have a special question for you.
Let's go.
Now, you know, to me, you know, marriage is a big word.
Say that again. You can say that twice, brother. Say it.
Marriage is a big.
That's a heavy word. That's a heavy, loaded.
Yes. So
45.
What do you say to the people who are in love, but are afraid of that word? Like, they're scared to get into it deeper, but they really love that person.
If you head over heels for somebody, then you just head over heels for somebody. You have to acknowledge how you feel, why you feel the way you feel. Understanding that marriage is just, you know, it could be whatever you want it to be. So, again, growing up, you know, people lay down their norms, their values, what they believe what something is. You got to create that. And I think once you create that fits with you, then that marriage will get a little lighter. The word, be like, okay, what is marriage to me? Because you also got to find out what's marriage to the other person. Getting married might say, hey, I'll be getting married because it's time for kids. And you're like, no, it ain't happening no time. You know, that's just an example. So you got to define what marriage is to you. And it has to be your definition. And if it's not, because it's passed down from generations, you have to acknowledge that. You can't go there blindly, because now you're going into something that you don't understand. And I didn't understand. And you're probably not going to understand until you go through it. So you definitely want to establish what marriage is to you, what is marriage to your partner. And also you got to take a real good look at yourself, where you at, where you want to be, where you want to go, how you want to get there. And that person has to ask those same questions. And y'all have to be on a similar path. Because I take myself for an example. Like, I love to grow. You know, once I got a taste of success, there was no stopping me. Like, once I figured out my potential, and I'm 30 years old right now, and then I didn't start grinding until about 23. So I'm 23. It's been 7 years, and my whole life has changed, like, dramatically. I'm in a crazy position, like, take hours. You'll be like, damn. Because I came from the dude who when I came to New York City, I went to a shelter. You know, I didn't even, you know, I remember my mother picking me up. I'm thinking my grandmother is, you know, so I'm saying I grew up with my grandmother in Puerto Rico, and I get dropped off in the Bronx, and we go into a women's shelter, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, what the hell is going on? So it's just like, you know. So, you know, my whole life was just shaken up, and I'm just like, people just telling me things, and I'm just growing up, and I'm like, so when I got to the point of, you know, my whole life, when I got to marriage, I was in a point where I just wanted to be better, and my wife knew that. So my wife understood where I came from, and what I'm trying to build, and I'm always trying to grow, and that takes a toll on the marriage. So I just want to take, you know, that whole struggle, moving up, bringing it into the marriage. My wife understands that it's harder on her because she grew up different, and we grew up from the same hood. Like, she lived 7 blocks from me, and a whole different, like, her circumstances was completely different. She had her mom and dad, traditional family. So for her, it's just like, we're married, family time together, little vacation. And I'm like, hold up. I don't think you know who you married. You know, and I'm like, yo, this is what success is, and why stop doing this? We could get, you know, we're in our 30s, early 30s. I'm 30, she's 31. I'm like, yo, imagine in our 40s. Are you crazy? We're not stopping now. If we stop now, we're gonna struggle later. And we figured it out. So let's keep replicate the success. So again, marriage, y'all all have to be on the same page. Your intentions gotta be on point. And y'all gotta understand, y'all gonna have some dark nights because you chained up. And sometimes I feel like leaving. And I'm just like, I can't go nowhere. And then, you know, we spend days fighting, and then, you know, things get level out, and then we have our high, we have our lows. So it's very complex.
You're making me scared when I heard, you know, chained up, you know.
Yeah, shackles.
So that brings me to the next question, right? So, is it ever too early to get married?
Well, legally, you gotta wait till you're 18.
Well, you know, I mean, like, let's say, for example, you're in a relationship
You're
for
in
2
India,
weeks.
it's a whole
you know?
different scenario.
For 2 weeks. You know, you I would say that's too early, you understand? Because
that's early.
Yeah.
you never
Because
met
you
the
don't.
person.
My thing is, all right, in a relationship, I feel like you have to, when you with someone, you have to stick with them. Meaning when things are going bad and when things are going good. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, these are the things that's gonna happen when you're married. The issue with me is when things get bad, I run. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at it as I'm grinding every day. You get what I'm saying? Now we get into an argument. Now it's like I have to be around you, and it's like that's negative energy to me. So what I do is I usually pick up and I run, and I stay away until everything becomes fine, which is hard to become fine because I'm running away and I'm focusing on grinding and getting to the money. So now my significant other has to dwell on that alone while I'm chasing the bag. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like what I mean by that is like it's kind of hard for me to try to challenge that. Like you said, like definitely when marriage, like I'm nervous because it's not more of that person, it's more of me. Because like I like to be happy all the time, and people be like, yo, every relationship is not gonna be happy. You get what I'm saying? So like you said, like I commend you because you're real strong for being there, because I feel like it'll be awkward me being in the same room with my partner and we're not speaking, and I'm just thinking like, damn, how my day is gonna go by faster, and I'm sitting here angry we're not speaking. The first thing I'm looking all day every day is dollar signs, how I'm make it to the next level, my goals and things like that. So regardless of anything, even if I'm happy or if I'm upset, I'm looking forward to my goals.
Yo, but you're not alone, bro. I'm like that in my marriage. I'm married in that same situation, bro, because I'm always thinking about my bag, because I want to secure my daughter's future. You know, I want to secure my future. I want to secure my wife's future. And my wife be going through like the issues that she goes through is more like mental, and she's a mother, stay-at-home mom, so she has certain issues that it's hard for me to tackle. And I'm that kind of person. I like to be happy, just like you said, bro. I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to enjoy. I'm grinding, so I want to get enjoyments, and I got to deal with her struggles. And her struggles are certain things that I can't even take out my credit card and fix. And then I'm dealing with, I also have my own things that I could deal with, but I could self-regulate my emotions pretty well, better than my wife. And I'm just like that. Don't want to deal with you right now because I cannot fix your problems. You have to fix it, but I have to be the ears And then when I'm just the ears and I'm kind of not doing it in a meaningful way, it comes off like, okay, you just not trying to, you just listening and just hoping that I just shut up. And, you know, she kind of right, but then I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm trying, can we, like, do something happy? You know, let's go out, let's enjoy ourselves. So, listen, bro, I'm married, and I'm just like that, too. I'm like, okay, I got to go to work. I got to get this bag. I got to get this hustle on. I got to go fix up the properties. I got to go do something. Let's go. Like, let's do something. Like, let's get this money. Like, babe, let's work. And I'm just like that, humble. Trust me, bro. You're single, and I'll do the same shit in my marriage.
Nah, definitely. I appreciate that, bro.
Trust me. There's nothing wrong with that.
So basically, don't be afraid of marriage. That's basically
what you're saying.
yeah.
And listen, man. Just like this marriage is the other word. That's just as dark. Divorce. You know, so, again, it goes back to what people tell you, right? The norms, right? Like what people believe in. Oh, divorce is bad. It's the worst thing ever. Dude, they're putting a negative tone on that, but they're still giving you the value. Just like they gave you the value for marriage, and they're just putting a positive icing on it. Marriage has its negative too. Divorce might have its positives too, but you're picking up and you're writing down. You're creating your values based on other people's values. That's the troubling part, because it's like, okay, it doesn't work, get a divorce. Oh, but you don't believe in divorce. If you didn't believe in divorce, you should have never believed in marriage. And then people can't even wrap their heads around that kind of mindset. Because I want to be with you because I want to be with you. But don't get it twisted. You'll get the boot.
The vibes.
That's what it is. Because this generation moves into a lot of marriages, much faster than how the traditional marriage was. Where you meet somebody, you knew them for a while, or you meet somebody, you love them, and you've been with them for a while. But these days, it could be weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and let's get married. And that's something that you see a lot, a lot of times on reality shows, but people don't understand that 50 or 60%, or even more, a much bigger percent, that these reality show TV stars get paid to do these things. You understand? To get paid to show their life on TV, and then all you hear is that thing before was Safari. You understand? That little quote that people were saying, they want their husband to cry and all this stuff. But
the quote I was saying, yeah. They were saying, the females are saying they want a safari, meaning when their husband is up there, they're crying and things like that. But I'm like, you don't put forth the labor. You get what I'm saying? It has to be even. Yeah. Like, a lot of females base their life on celebrities and what they see these celebrities do on TV. Because 9 times out of 10, those things are scripted. He's getting paid to cry and do these things. Yeah. And like, even with, like, back to the other Love and Hip Hop with Little Fizz and April, they're not together no more.
Yeah.
And he lost out on money because he was messing with Omarion's baby mother. So she left you after the season ended for a bag, and you lost out on the bag just for some buns. Come on.
Yep, buns that you didn't keep.
And you lost the bag.
One thing Omarion was doing was something big. And people, are self-motivated because of these reality shows, but they don't know that, or they do know, but they don't want to know the truth.
No, definitely, bro.
Feelings should not be bought. You understand? Emotions shouldn't be bought, and that's what this generation sees. Love and Hip Hop, a black ink crew. It's all about violence, or it's about crime. It's about this. What happened to the generation that really cares about life and wants to get rid of all the politics and just go out there and get a business? Be a MWBE, minority business. Get your life started. New York is getting very pricey. You want to explore other states, other cities. Venture your life. But they look up to these reality shows as motivation. And what happened to looking up to Michael Jordan? What happened to looking up to this person, that person? These days, it's all about a reality TV show. These days, it's all about a Love and Hip Hop.
It's the drama.
Yeah. And and that's very ridiculous, but it's sad to say, and that's why we have to mold our future kids, our current kids, on the right direction, You know, with Big Broseph being very motivational. You know, Mr. Humble Beast. You know, it's a movement, and it's a movement that we can't stop, and we shouldn't stop, and we shouldn't stop now.
Definitely, brother.
So what do you guys want to say to the world? Any thoughts you have? Anything that you just want to get off your chest?
Yo, find your greatness, man. Your life becomes a little more fulfilling when you get on that path to find your greatness, find your gift, and you'll realize that you'll come to a point where it's like, okay, I gotta give back, and that's that realization that when you get to the point that I could give back, because ain't no broke person giving nothing. So you gotta get to a point where you could acquire money, you could get your status up, you could get the reputation of helping others, build trust. You know, and it all starts by you finding your greatness, because greatness cannot be stopped. I'm telling you, I live by it.
And Mr. Beast?
I want to go back to the definition, like the real, like the written thought process of the broken down of humble and beast.
Yeah, let's get it.
So, what is humble beast? Humble means not proud, non-arrogant, but modest, courageous, and respectful. The beast part, non-human, coarse, or beast-like person. The yin and yang of our universe, however, when put together, it creates the perfect markup match duo to have beast-like tendencies as far as the aggression, the approach, if you will. That get it by any means necessary characteristic that many thinks they poses until they met with that first, maybe even second brick wall in their life. Yet with so much aggression, you'll disperse. It's effortless, tasteful, and humble. Make sure not to step on anyone's toes in the strive to greatness. Make sure not to step on anyone's toes in the strive to greatness. Because through this is a dog-eat-dog world, Humble Beast promotes the exact opposite. Let's all strive for greatness, and let's uplift our brothers and sisters. There's plenty of seats at my table for people to enjoy the fruit as long as they put forth the labor. Humble Beast isn't a brand. It's a movement.
A to the men. You know, and Mr. Humble Beast, now get back over here. Where you going? Where you going? You know, I know you have a little movement that you're trying to work on, you know, next few weeks. You know, it's a little surprise, but you know, we could give like a little sneak peek of a little movement, a little sneak peek. You know, a little sneak peek.
Little appetizer. You
All
want a little
right,
appetizer.
All right, look, so I'm going to let my boy tune in right now because I'm going to need him to hear this. My guy, my son, Mac.
All right.
Let's see my boy
You can
Max.
put me in. You can put me in. All right.
No, I want y'all to be able to see him so you can be good. I want to see the camera. So my man Mac is about to join. This is like my brother too.
Just try to put it back a little bit, and then just turn the camera. If you can move the
Hold
camera.
on, brody. Yo, you can see? Yo. All right, so I want you to hit something real quick, brody. Say what up to my boys.
What's up? What's up?
What podcast am I talking to right now? What's it called?
The Master Suite.
The Master Suite. Say-
Master Suite. Shout out to Master Suite. You feel me? From Mac Genetics to Master Suite. Shout out to y'all.
Thank you.
All right, so basically, we gonna we'll say it again, bro.
All right, so we're gonna give Mr. Beast himself is gonna give a little sneak peek of a upcoming project that's coming. All right.
All right, so look, listen up. Humble Beast is in the spot, you know. So the latest project, right? So
Remember. A little sneak peek. Remember this.
A glance of the
A
appetizer.
glance of not the main course. You just want a sneak
the
peek.
thing we spoke about earlier.
Yes. Remember a sneak peek. All right.
A sneak.
It's a teaser. All right. A preview of the trailer. All right.
Alright,
Remember.
A preview.
Don't get
of
too
the
humble
trailer.
now. Don't get too humble. You still gotta be the beast right now, all right? A little sneak peek.
I guess half of his face is turning.
Humble Beast will be having a pop up
Special location.
at a special location near you.
Okay.
Humble Beast will be. I'm talking about. It's not like your annual pop up shops. It's not an annual. You could just come outside and put a table outside and put your tablecloth. Not like $1. You can get a little tablecloth and put it on there.
Might have to get some parking.
Yeah, man.
Might have a parking lot
This
around.
this ain't no Dollar Tree stunt, all right? This ain't no Family Dollar. This ain't no Dollar Tree, all right?
Make sure you got parking lot.
Can I say the three? Can I say the 3 words?
No.
Nah.
It's a,
This is a teaser, man. Come on, man.
Teaser.
Come on, man. This is a
Nah.
Bad Boys
All right,
3 event right
All
here.
right, so it's a teaser. So basically, Humble Beast will be having a pop up shop.
And
Near you.
And where? Now, you can say, all right, not the location, but in what? It starts with a M.
All right, so look, Humble Beast will be having a pop up shop in a mall near you.
Yes.
You heard that, Mac?
Just so Humble Beast is going to have a pop-up shop in a sponsored mall
In a sponsored mall.
near you, coming to a neighborhood near you. All right. So Humble Beast himself just told you some C4 classified intel news, and you will only hear it on the Master Suite.
Only in the Master Suite. If I have another event, I'm not talking about it.
Nope. Only on the Master Suite.
My dude just hit the
Confidential.
red button. He gonna set it off. You're.
And one more time. If guys could just give your social media accounts, just where the world could follow you guys.
All right, so you can follow me on IG at the Big Brosive. The Big Brosive. The Big Brosive. That is Brosive with the BROSIF. Holla at your boy.
And don't forget his YouTube as well.
Yeah. It's at the bio.
Bow. All right, it's your boy Humble Beast. You can follow me on Instagram at Humble Beast NYC. That is at Humble Beast NYC on Instagram. You can follow my Facebook. It's Humble Beast Clothing Brand. On Facebook, it's Humble Beast Clothing Brand. And you can definitely check out my dope website to cop all the latest merch at www.humblebeastnyc.com. That is www.humblebeastnyc.com.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Master Suite. You can also listen to our podcast on Apple, Google, and Spotify.